Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Tim Cleaveland. In the first couple of months of 2024, I made a quiet but meaningful decision to start a personal ritual. There are 6 parts to the morning ritual: silence, affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, and writing. The foundation of the morning ritual comes from a book, The Miracle Morning, by Hal Elrod. The author began the morning practice that would eventually become the Miracle Morning in 2008 during a time of personal and financial crisis. It wasn't created to become a book, but simply as a way to help heal himself. Before that, he survived a near-fatal car accident and later a rare aggressive cancer, each time turning to his daily ritual for strength. Inspired by how these practices transformed his life, he chose to share his experience to help others find hope and resilience. His story is a powerful reminder that constant rituals can sustain us through life's most profound challenges. It sounded simple enough. Start each morning with purpose, clarity, and intentionality. I followed this ritual every morning at 5:30 for more than 500 days. It has transformed me. Before that, my mornings were well unstructured. I'd often wake up and stay in bed, catching up on shows or scrolling through social media. Activities that didn't set a purposeful tone for my day. The sun would rise unannounced until it was time to get ready for work, where punctuality and dependability have always been important to me. There was no direction, just distraction. What pushed me to change was realizing I didn't have the energy or motivation after work to exercise. I wanted my evenings to be for personal time and relaxation. That's when I started looking for a way to get up early and exercise in the morning. I know this struggle isn't unique to me. It's more common than we might think. Too often, we get swept into the day before we consider what we truly want from it. We react to external pressures before we've gathered our internal thoughts. Since I started the Miracle Morning, every day has begun with a ritual. At the heart of my ritual are 6 practices. The foundation of my mornings: steady, grounding, and true. Silence is how I begin, with a moment of stillness. I use guided meditations to help center myself before the world rushes in. Affirmations come next. I use the prompts from the Miracle Morning app to speak truth over my day. not just wishful thinking, but intentional commitments. One example might be, I am 100% committed to stop drinking soda. This is deeply meaningful to me because soda is not healthy. And, to ensure I follow through, I will buy bubbly water instead. Visualization is where I picture the day ahead, not just my schedule, but how I want to meet the world around me. I approach each day with calm intention and open-hearted awareness. Exercise for me is a daily commitment to reaching 10,000 steps. I've walked in sunshine, in rain, in snow, even through a recent heat wave. Most mornings, I get about half of those steps before the day really begins. The rest comes naturally through my work, which involves a lot of movement. That steady rhythm has become a grounding part of how I meet each day. Reading is next. I choose something that connects directly to my affirmations. Something that helps me grow in the areas I'm actively working on. This isn't reading for entertainment, it's reading with purpose. And finally, writing. I answered 3 short prompts from the Miracle Morning app. What do I have to be grateful for right now? What am I doing that I can acknowledge myself for? And what are my top 1 to 3 priorities for today? I've done this ritual every day, not always perfectly or elegantly, but my dedication has never wavered. Yes, even on vacation. This ritual has truly become a part of who I am. Over time, I realized I wasn't just building a morning habit, I was creating a spiritual anchor, a practice that set the tone, not just for my day, but for my life. Each morning, I had a chance to reconnect with what matters most: gratitude, clarity, intention. As Elrod writes, when you change your morning, you change your life. That simple truth captures what I've come to believe. Morning rituals aren't just routines. They're acts of spiritual grounding. While the term miracle may not always be common in Unitarian Universalist circles, there's something undeniably powerful, perhaps even sacred, about reclaiming our time, our attention, and our spiritual grounding each day in a world that so often scatters us. So what difference has my ritual made in my life? Lately, it has been a quiet but powerful support. The most significant loss I have ever experienced in my life came recently: the death of John Burkett. John was a parent to me. I could call him if I had questions. He made time to help me, and not just when my bike needed repairs. Our family like to go biking around the block or on vacation through beautiful scenery. We had a great time. Moments like those, seemingly ordinary, are now such precious memories. John had a way of making you feel seen, supported, and loved. He was truly present, fully engaged in the moment, giving his whole attention without distraction. And in today's world, where so much pulls us away, presence is one of the greatest gifts we can offer each other. I was so lucky to have John in my life. And while it's hard to lose someone like that, it also deepens your appreciation for each moment you've shared with them. On the morning after John died, I woke up early, as I always do now. That morning was different. I got up and started my morning ritual. It felt like I was going through the motions. Still raw in my mind, I knew John had died. Even in grief, I still completed my morning ritual, finishing off with a nice walk around my neighborhood. Your morning ritual doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be done with purpose. That morning, I wasn't trying to be strong. I was simply trying to stay grounded. And somehow that was enough. It wasn't easy, but it was grounding. That morning taught me something profound. We cannot always control when loss will find us. We cannot schedule heartbreak, but we can prepare a space for ourselves to meet it with purpose. Because I had been practicing this ritual, I had a tool, a compass in the storm. I had no idea when I made that decision to begin how much I would treasure the consistency, but I do. If you don't have a ritual, whatever form it may take, I highly encourage you to develop one. It doesn't have to look like mine. What matters most is that it reflects your true self, something that helps you remember your values and what matters most, especially when the world turns upside down. Because tragedy will come. That's part of the human experience. But when it does, having something steady can make all the difference. A ritual is not a cure for grief, but it is a companion. As Elrod reminds us, every adversity contains within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. That doesn't mean the pain disappears, but it does mean we have the tools to grow through it, to stay rooted in meaning, even as we mourn. In the end, this journey of life asks us to love deeply, to grieve honestly, and to grow steadily. Rituals help us stay rooted in that path. So may we find practices that nourish our spirits. May we honor those we've lost by how we live. And may we wake each morning, whether in joy or sorrow, with hearts open to the sacred possibilities of a new day.